Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Killer Collab podcast. Once again, my name is Tony with Tone Deaf in Florida Instagram. Once again, joined by Chris Lato. Chris Lato, what's up?
So,
And today we're being joined by Jason Henney.
Hi.
Hi. And we got Blake Stone in the studio.
how's it going, guys?
And Sith.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Sorry, that was a little inside joke there. Anyway, now we're being joined by them in a very special occasion. Very full studio, as you all can see. So let's just get started. Jason, what are you working on today?
What am I working on today?
Well, in general.
My tan later.
Is it hot enough outside? It's been cold.
It's in the 60s.
Yeah, it's cold.
I am working on. I'm actually leaving for Virginia on Thursday to shoot a movie. As a
Really?
cinematographer. Yeah, I'm excited about that. But got a few other movies in the works, and yeah, that's what I got going on.
Really, that's it? What are you taking days off? It's like,
I mean, I had a film that was supposed to shoot last year that had to get pushed to this year because of COVID.
what's COVID?
Yeah, I think it's a new toothpaste. No,
Everybody has it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we had to push it because of budgetary reasons, because we were going to have a COVID officer on set,
Yes.
and we were going to have COVID testing twice a day.
Yes.
And on a movie that was like a $200,000 budget, that was going to be like an extra $40,000. So
Chump change.
yeah, no, and that's like a big chunk of budget.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't make it happen. So
1/5 of the budget.
looking forward to getting that back on track, but happy that there's smaller projects we can do in the meantime. And yeah, so this movie I'm doing in Virginia is going to be a good step in the right direction of getting back into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little short backstory to everybody that's listening and watching. We all worked on one movie together. Actually, a couple movies, right? One, two,
I say
One?
one
One
for
for us,
us.
yeah.
one, two. I don't know.
Two
Two
for us.
Oh yeah, we did Dread or what the hell is his name?
We did Dread the movie.
We
Yeah.
made millions.
We made
Yeah.
so much.
It went pretty
Zed's
well.
dead. Zed's dead.
Zed's Dead,
Oh yeah.
the Pulp Fiction
Just
tribute film.
rip off.
Yeah.
I'll say either rip off or spin off.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Spin-off rip off.
Yeah.
But you know, Chris and I mean, we're practically life partners. We've been making movies together for
Long time.
6-7 years now.
That was cute, guys.
Yeah.
8 years, maybe?
Yeah.
Good relationship.
We did my first feature together with which was called Crazy Lake.
Oh, I heard about that one. I
You
haven't
have?
seen it.
Nobody else has.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
that could be the reason.
it's got
I've heard of it.
the trailer has 3 million
Trailer
views,
has
so
3 million
people
views,
have
and
heard.
no one's made any money. Nice.
No, people are making money off of it, just not us.
Yeah. Whoever owns that trailer link is like, oh, they
Yeah.
got it.
Oh no, yeah, they're making, but
Why isn't it not on YouTube? That's what it did something.
Ask Indican Pictures.
Dun,
Well,
dun,
I'd
dun.
say-
Well,
That is
the
impressive.
evil
Yeah.
corporation.
there's a whole show about distribution and what to do
Oh,
with your
yeah.
first film, which we don't need to get into. But
No, I get it. I'm writing a couple films right now and a TV show. So I definitely understand that
Yeah.
whole headache. Okay, now the two on the couch. How are we doing today? You guys comfy over there? You guys got the comfiest seats in the house.
Comfy cozy.
Comfy. Blake Stone,
Hello.
what you got going on, kid?
So, actually, Sif and I just got back from Massachusetts, visiting family.
Cold?
Grandmother's on the way. Oh,
Yes,
so
very
cold.
cold,
So there was
very
actually
cold.
snow still.
No thanks.
So she's
Yeah.
never seen snow before.
Never seen
so
it. Never ever in my life. It was the
I'm from
first time.
Jersey, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah, well,
I
like,
escaped there.
that's so
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting less snow cone and more like, light, fluffy, palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crunchy. Very
Yeah,
crunchy.
no thank you.
So they had
Not for me.
in my old hometown. They've got a couple of ski mountains,
Yeah.
and one of them was still open. They had a little section they did tubing, and
Which
so
was so
she got
fun.
to do
Oh,
that.
yeah,
and she
snow
like,
tubing's a blast.
Oh yeah.
Got wrecked.
Oh yeah, my
couple
face has
times.
seen that hard snow many
Mhm.
times.
It was a lot of fun.
Have you seen snow a lot? Is this snow in Seattle?
yeah, I'm from Seattle originally, and we'd get
Oh.
like one a year, but most of it was just cold rain. It would like to
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
at like 38 degrees, and it's just
And
that
just
kind of weather where you look outside and you just want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm in sunny Florida and loving it.
Well, what I tell people from up north is, because I'm from up there, when it gets cold here, it's a different kind of cold.
Yeah.
I
It
feel
is.
like it's like
Yeah.
cuts. Like it feels like so.
Goes right through you.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
And up there, it's a little bit more. I don't know. It's thicker, I guess. It's just over
It's-
you rather than through you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Here.
the thing is, like, as long as there's no wind, northern cold is like
Yeah.
so. It's just nice being
Crisp,
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Like you can breathe clear, like everything feels nice. The wind hits you, you're like, oh.
Yeah,
no.
15-mile-an-hour winds at one point as we're
Just-
tubing going down the slope at 15 miles. That
Yeah.
was interesting.
Wow.
For sure.
Like, tap your
So-
face and it'll break.
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
much,
oh
yeah.
yeah. There was a little icicle.
Oh
coming
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah. That whole Jack Nicholson Shining.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely. That was me.
Close enough. Yeah, no, just back down here. I do a lot of the assistant work for her, so I do cinematography, photography, editing, and
Managing bodyguard, luggage, chauffeur,
chauffeur, yep,
basically whatever
everything.
I
So-
demand.
And then that's for
There's a
her-
name for that.
her
I,
work.
I don't want to say it
Yeah.
on
It's
on
called
air.
Boy
It starts,
toy.
it starts with an S. Oh, that's a nicer. I would take that title.
I was just gonna say the bitch. You got bitch work.
Slave, gopher,
Does it well.
No.
the grip.
But as a husband, that's your job.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
your job.
That's
Yeah,
life.
it is what it is. You guys got any projects going on right now? Like main projects, movies, anything? I know you got a YouTube, you got a podcast going, right? Too?
Yeah, so that's the main thing that I'm working on right now. It's called Pop Jedi. We were with Horror Web, which thank you guys so much for hosting us for our first 5 episodes. And now we're moving to comicbookmovie.com, which is a much bigger audience, 80,000 on YouTube. So now we're really
Nice.
getting into the meat and
Nice.
potatoes of
Guys
it.
got a bigger budget.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we
We'll
just hit
see.
1,000 views.
We don't obviously we don't have one here, but whatever.
Yeah.
I hear the owner of this place is an asshole, so
Yeah,
he's real
just a
cheap.
little
He's a
bit.
real cheapskate.
Isn't it you?
I mean,
No comment.
next question.
Anyway, but it's wonderful to have everyone here rejoining everybody.
Yeah.
So now I know there's a lot of things that came out recently, like
Nobody cares what I'm up to. Okay.
Oh.
Do you
we've been
wanna
talking to
tell
you for the
us?
last 3 weeks. We've plugged every one of your
I did
projects.
stuff
Oh yeah,
last week.
we don't want to know what you did in your privacy of your own home.
Did you
Wanna
leave your
know.
house last week?
I did.
Okay, what did you do?
There you
then?
go.
No, we went to Tampa Bay Screams over the weekend.
Oh yes.
Really
Tampa Bay
fun.
Screams. I didn't get a chance to go there. I was definitely working in the studio.
Yeah, we had a table. We were there off Friday and Saturday, and I don't know. It's cool meeting people and the horror industry and Facebook friends that you've never met before, and you finally get to meet them in
yeah.
person. It's kind of cool.
Or creepy sometimes.
Jason and his lovely girlfriend showed up. for
Yeah,
a
we
little
stopped
bit on
by.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. Yeah, I saw some people from some movies that I hadn't heard of, and that was kind of cool. And met some people that I hadn't met in person before.
John Dugan, the old man from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
who
Oh,
kind
that's
of with the
awesome.
hammer in his hand. He was there.
Yes.
So Sean said he picked him up from the airport and took him back to the hotel, and he was
I was just gonna say
Wow.
that.
No, actually, he said he saw him at the airport, and he told him, "Yeah, I'm wearing a green shirt." And they saw each other, and Dugan walked up to him and gave him a big grandpa hug.
Aw,
So I think
those
he's
are the
like-
best.
Like in his late 60s, I think.
He's probably not
You
doing
gave
many
him
events either.
a big grandpa hug and a case of
Big
COVID.
grandpa hug.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then Sean was trying to leave, and he was like, "No, you got to come have a beer with me in my room. Come on up."
Oh, this is the
So-
beginning of a good
Coerce him.
story.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's visiting
So-
Florida for a reason, like most people do.
It was fun. He got him to sign a bunch of stuff for us.
Nice.
It was cool.
Nice. Nice.
But it was a good event. Sean, it was very successful for Sean. This was his 5th one.
Okay.
And
I know we missed last year's, but
Yeah, and
maybe it's recouped.
so he said he's gonna do another one next year.
Nice.
But it was a good time.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you have a movie that was showing?
No, I don't make movies.
Mm-hmm.
I make
Interesting.
art.
Nah, we didn't show anything of ours.
No, really? That's weird. Last year, the year before that, you had a couple, didn't you? We had that one movie that we did. I can't remember it.
Well, we did Naked Cannibal Campers.
Before that,
Before that?
yeah.
Die Delta Pi 2?
No, that was way before that.
That was way.
I wasn't in that
Now
one.
we're going back.
Oh, Dead Residents.
Dead Residents.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We showed that one, and you had another one, the Eye one. Didn't you have another movie with the eye?
Seeing Evil?
Seeing Evil.
Oh, was Seeing Evil playing there?
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's where I saw the movie. I knew there was
Maybe.
another movie you showed.
Yeah. Seeing Evil was a movie me and Jason co-directed.
Oh,
and
nice.
produced
Yeah.
and,
I didn't know that.
It's on
It's
Amazon
actually
Prime.
on Tubi and Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah. I was reading reviews on it last week, and everybody's pissed off about the ending of that film, and I kind of agree.
I like the ending.
That's the
Well,
thing.
you wrote it, didn't you?
I didn't write it. Jason wrote it.
Yeah, and I actually had
Oh.
a crew member on the set who was so upset about the way the ending was written.
Yeah.
They wrote
They
a
wrote another
alternate
ending.
Yeah, you
ending
better
and
release
was
that
like,
now.
"Hey,
We need to shoot this,
Yeah.
and we're like, no, we don't. Like, I don't want to be on the
That's
set
funny.
ever again.
right."
Was it that bad of a time?
It wasn't a great experience for us. Big reason, just like I didn't get along with the lead actor, and you get to a certain point in the film where there's nothing you can do about that. You guys are just in it together,
You're stuck.
and
Yeah.
I'll take responsibility for that as well. You know, it was a two-person situation
Yeah,
where
the crew was kind of didn't seem like anybody was really into it, and we had a lot of people with dietary restrictions, which was like
That's
ridiculous.
rough.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
something
Two
you learn.
vegans, a vegetarian, a
No gluten.
pescatarian,
So no Cubans for
lactose
anybody.
intolerant. Like it was just like ridiculous.
Fine, I'll eat all their food. Bring me on.
One
the
of the
set
people
next
was allergic to air.
Right.
We had to buy special
That's all.
makeup
No.
and all that
Uh,
stuff.
Our lead actress was allergic to corn, which is in
That
everything.
is
Yeah.
in everything.
So
Oh
that
my
made it
gosh.
really challenging.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. So
That's
and
a
That's a
and
new
it
one.
was
That's a new one for
it
me.
was her face, like she's a pretty girl, and if she ate corn, her face would like blow up. So we had to be very careful because she's gonna be on camera.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Shellfish.
So
But
Remember
yeah,
when
I
he
mean
was
that
a
movie
doctor?
pretty much made me quit
Oh.
for 5 years, and
Yeah,
it's the one that broke him.
Oh,
broke-
I like
no.
both of them.
definitely broke me.
Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, happy that he's kind of back into it. And,
And you jumped back in with Dead Residents?
Actually, Sean brought me back with Heartbreak Killer. He wanted me
Oh,
to shoot it for
okay.
him, so I shot it, and then kind of started getting the itch again to do more stuff. And
I heard there's a powder for that.
there's a what?
There's a powder for that.
for the
Oh, yeah,
itch.
for the itch.
That's a shot too, but that's not as
Yeah,
pleasant.
we don't do that one.
Yeah, and then I think we did Dead Residents, and then
We worked on a couple after that. We just went
Can
back to back.
Campers,
Yeah.
and Zed's Dead, and
Just kept plugging away.
plugging away.
Yeah.
And now you got a new project in the works.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Ooh, maybe.
All right.
What are we maybe doing?
Yeah, we're kind of we're in a period of the cheerleader sleepover slaughter,
Ooh.
but I'm in a holding pattern right now whether I'm going to move forward with it or not. Just
Okay.
having some issues.
Not enough cheerleaders.
Well, location scouting is.
Well,
You got one right there.
That's
You go
one
right
thing.
here.
That's one
But
thing.
location scouting is one of the toughest things to do.
Well, it's not even just that, man. Like I've had, in the past, we've always worked with local people in the Tampa area, and try to get them experience. And I mean, God, we've launched so many careers of
Yeah.
people that have been in our movies that are now in LA and Atlanta doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so this time I seem to have gotten a lot of submissions from Orlando, and I guess in Orlando they think they're like Tom Cruise and stuff up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
And
the
I
closer
had
you get to Disney.
Disney, yeah.
I had 2 people say that their agent said that they're not allowed to be in the movie, and I'm like, what? Like, and then I want to say back, is your agent actually getting you any roles? Because you have no credits,
Yeah.
and you're turning down a lead in something. I mean,
Particularly right now when things have
Yeah,
slowed
there's
down.
nothing
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
So I've always said, if you're a young actor trying to make it, get on every set
Grab
you
it.
can possibly get
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
Whether
Get as
you're
much
getting
experience,
paid or you're
yeah.
not getting paid or whatever the budget is, just get on there so you can get some set experience, get comfortable with running lines in a movie and getting
Yeah.
a camera in front of your face.
Yeah.
Like,
Wouldn't you say that for anybody interested in any part of film
Oh,
is just
absolutely.
to be on set as much as
Be there.
possible?
If you can hold a boom mic in a movie, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Just watch.
slate, PA,
I
anything.
slated
Get
the last
Yep,
movie.
you did.
I
Yeah.
was I started slating and they had a character drop out and I jumped in because I was there. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you never know.
And
what's
the
gonna
rest
happen.
is history.
Yeah.
oh
Now I have magic powers. It's fantastic.
yeah, that'll live forever on film.
but yeah, I mean,
Forever.
a person with no credits that are trying to be an actor turning down a lead role is just like ludicrous.
Well, I know when I signed on with my agent when I lived in Jersey, I couldn't do a lot of things. I couldn't do any local stuff. I had to do pretty much stuff that was coming out of New York or Philadelphia. That's the only thing I was able to do with that agent, primarily because they had a name to protect, and then
Okay.
ultimately my contract ran up, and when I moved here, was like, you know what? I'm not doing it
Too
anymore.
bad
No
for
more
you.
agents, so I'm
So
just
what's
doing it
worse
on
for
myself.
an agent? Getting a person bad roles or getting a person no roles? Like, which is worse?
Well,
I
it
would
really
take
depends
bad
on what you can
roles.
do because my agent got me some things like I was working. I did a lot of extra stuff on like just random shows in like New York and Philadelphia. But until you get noticed, it's really difficult until you
Yeah.
get like into the right room at the right
And
time.
the only way
Yeah,
you're
the
gonna
right
get
people.
noticed is what?
Just by being there.
Having
yeah.
people
Yeah.
see you on a screen. Like that's really
Yeah.
the only way
Yeah.
you're gonna get noticed.
Yeah, it's true.
So I mean, even in a bad movie, not saying that we make bad movies, but
I'll say it.
you know, we make they're not
I
the
get it.
they're very low budget. You know, we're talking $2,000-$3,000 movies here, and
And they're fun too. You know what? They're fun.
Right.
We have a lot of
Yeah.
fun all the time.
but the thing
Actually,
is,
all the sets that we've been on.
if
I
you're a
remember.
good actor or a good actress, you can shine even in a bad movie.
You
Yeah.
can take
know,
bad
and
role,
take
make it
notice.
something really
Yeah.
cool.
People can take notice.
Oh yeah. Also, getting into just different roles, like just learning as much as you can from every aspect. Like I'm talking to him, I'm talking to you. How you do this? How you shoot that?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
different angle? Just to soak up that information.
Right.
It's just like unmatched. Like the hands-on experience is not like any other school that you're gonna see. The broadcasting schools. Like I learned all my equipment by working on other sets.
Yeah.
It's
Being in
like
the
I
thick of
was
it.
on the radio in 2003. I pretty much when I started on the radio station, I was selling advertising, and then
Okay.
ultimately I got to recording the voiceovers for the commercials, and then I got into the DJ booth, started DJing, got on a radio show, but my show was on a late night in Atlantic City at 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. But still, you know what? I was on the radio for 4 hours,
Yeah,
4
it
hours a
still
day for
counts.
3 days a week. So you know what? You keep learning, keep plugging away, and then ultimately I got on a TV show in Philadelphia. I hosted it was a show called I think it was 24 Tracks, and we just did a local TRL type stuff with local bands, local groups, and we did a local television TRL. So like I said, you just keep getting as much as under your belt as much
Right.
as possible, and I think that's what people don't know nowadays because the young generation is just I'm too good for that, or
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
not enough
and I
pay,
think that's the
or
They
problem
just
right
want that
now.
one and done hit that's just
Yeah.
gonna skyrocket them,
Yeah.
and sometimes I mean that doesn't happen for everybody.
oh yeah, you're not Spielberg. Who are
Yeah.
you? And so they think they're a lot better than us. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, man. Like, I've worked on a bunch of movies. Jason's worked on a bunch of movies, and every movie I work on, I learn something, and I'm sure he does too.
Mm-mm.
No, you know everything already.
No.
Done.
No.
He knows everything.
Yeah, I came in knowing everything and leave knowing everything. That's how it goes. No, it's true. You gotta just be on set and you gotta keep doing. I was on doing audio for a year for free on whatever I could until I started getting paid for it, and that opened doors to work with producers who funded projects that got features greenlit, and that's you might think that what you're doing is not going to get you somewhere, and I think people have a short term kind of goal with it, but you got to look at the long game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing as when being young in the business. You have to, even you're old in the business, you don't know anything. Just do it. Just do it. Like
Just do it.
exactly. Like
Mm.
I know when I was started working, I took every job that I possibly could just to learn as much experience.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in a household that didn't have education was not number one. Was not number one in our household. Not one person went to college. Not one person finished high school. So I'm a high school graduate and a college graduate. So but I learned everything I could possibly do in every different field of work.
Right.
So it's the same thing in this industry, entertainment industry. You learn everything.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like I said, if you get a boom mic, you can get a boom mic, hold that,
Yep.
or move lights, be an AP, do anything. Like it's just crucial that you have to do something like that.
So, do you agree with having an agent if you're like
Yes.
a newcomer?
sort
and-
of.
Hesitant.
Here.
Well, it depends on their connection.
Okay.
Depends on what they
Yeah,
booked
they know.
before.
I know a little bit about agencies because I grew up as a child actor and got my agent and then moved to LA and did the whole scene, and I kind of know what the system works. I will say this, like if you're in a city, like let's say Tampa or Cleveland or something like that, it's different than being in LA or New York or Atlanta at this point. A lot of those agencies are set up to take your money.
Yes.
It's
Not take you places.
I don't want to say it's a scam, but it's a scam.
Well,
Any-
a lot of them get pushbacks from like acting schools. So
Well-
they'll send the people to acting school, and they'll get some will get a kickback for their
Here-
enrollment.
Here's the scam. These agencies have their own acting schools.
That too.
So when you listen to like a radio commercial where it's like, come on down to the Hilton Inn, your kid could be on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
That's a scam
Yes.
where they're going to have you come to the hotel with your kid that you think is going to be a big star. And they're going to say, your kid's got a great look. They'll have them read a commercial, and then they'll say, sit down with us. We think your kid's got a lot of talent. All they need is headshots, which we can provide for $1,400.
Right.
And then we want a 10-week acting course so they can be ready.
Yeah.
We're going to combine that with our 10-week modeling course. So that's 20 weeks. That's going to be $2,400. And so for a total of $3,800, then you're in our system, and then we'll get you out on stuff.
Right.
So that's a
Yeah.
pretty common thing for smaller cities. To book an agent for, I don't want to say for real, because those places, they will send you out on stuff after that. But after you've spent $3,800, it's quite a bit to recoup if you're getting out on smaller
Yeah.
local
20
stuff.
projects
Yeah.
every-
So the better path is probably to continue doing local indie stuff for free, building up, a demo reel of some sort, sending that to more credible agencies, and then you have something that can actually and as far as getting headshots, find somebody local to take your shots
Yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
for cheaper, even if you've got a friend who's
Local
a photographer,
Friends with a camera, yeah.
that so yes, agencies do exist and can get you jobs, obviously,
Right.
because people are using them to get bookings, but you have to be cautious about especially in a smaller market like Tampa or Memphis or something like that.
Right.
No, so funny when you were saying like they'll do this course and then they'll add this and they'll add this. I'm like, I went to one of those like
Mhm.
Did you really?
years back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did
I
you
don't
say you got a pretty mouth?
I don't want to say the name. No. So like I went in, I did two monologues that were wildly different. I did the Grinch, like going after
Yes.
Blueville as a mini monologue, and then I did something
Performing
from
live,
City Talk.
Blake.
Like I did
As
two
the
totally
Grinch.
different like things, and then after that I did. They were like, "Well, can you sing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I just belted out "Praise You in the Storm" by Casting Crowns, like a cappella in front of everyone. And it's funny, they had like these child actors come in before and like give their like experience with the thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's the greatest program, blah blah blah." And this one kid who has been like, they were like, "Yeah, he's been like 14 different shows on the Nickelodeon, blah blah blah."
Been in
He
it.
came up to me, he's like, "That was really good." He's like, "Were you nervous?" I'm like, "No, this is what I want to do." And he goes, "Oh, I didn't think that there were people like that here." I'm like, "That's why we're here."
Isn't that why
bro."
I thought
Like,
that was why we were
that's
here.
what we're for. And they're like, "Can you model?" I'm like, "I can Zoolander walk." Like, that's the best you're gonna
Such
get out
down
of
the
me.
runway.
And like they brought my parents into the room. They're like, "We think she's really good. He could probably go somewhere." It was like $2,000 to start, and then we have a 3-week course in LA that we do, and then after that, there's like a hotel stay where you come back at the Gaylord in Orlando, which is fantastic. thing.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, we have 2 weeks where you meet with different directors and recording studios and blah blah blah, and we try and like link you up with all these different people. I'm like, that sounds awesome. Didn't have the money at the time. Now I feel good. I didn't have the money at
Well-
the time because that's kind of scary.
Yeah, well, and I don't want to knock acting classes.
Yeah. Oh no.
Those are definitely necessary.
Yeah.
I think if you're interested, you should get into an acting class. And if these agencies are kind of the only resource you can find, there are great acting classes. If you do live in a city, that has a few people in it, you can usually find an acting class that's going to be way cheaper,
Yeah.
and you can save money on the headshots as well. So yeah, I would say if they really do like you, say,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to go get my own headshots, and I'm going to take my own
I'll
acting
do that.
class. And if you still want me, then let's do this. And if
Right.
they say no, then that's obviously a red flag of,
Yeah.
okay, if you guys like me so
When-
much, why? Yeah, and I'm doing all the things you're looking for.
Yeah.
What's
Like your mom's checkbook.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
And that's because I went through that, but obviously it was on my parents at the time, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
It did actually work out for me. I did end up going out and then moving to LA and getting a manager and getting an agent in LA from that. So it's not impossible, but I was probably one of maybe like 5% of 95%
Yeah.
who actually had something happen from it.
Okay.
So on that note, yeah, agent is a yes and no answer. It's a yes
Yeah.
and no.
50-50.
So yeah, is that really a?
It reminds me of like kind of film school. It's kind of like you can, that question of do you want it, do you need it, and
Right.
you can do it without it.
Of course.
But there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have those other schools that like the schools like I don't remember the names of them, but the broadcasting schools like we guarantee you a job as soon as you graduate. I'm like, really now?
Do you?
I mean, you
Yeah,
could probably
you're gonna
guarantee
pull
like,
cables. And
yeah, like mopping at the
Yeah.
radio station. Like, yeah,
You
we
can clean our toilets.
We'll get you a job. We'll get you a job. That's what it reminds me
No,
of.
I honestly, I think like with what you were saying, if you have an agent that's getting you no roles, find a new
Switch.
agent is. I mean, that would be
Yes.
my biggest red flag is like I'm paying you to help me go somewhere. If you're not doing anything for me, we probably shouldn't.
Literally,
how many roles are in Orlando though? I mean,
you'd be
Disney
surprised.
World and Universal Studios. I mean, those are the roles that I'm thinking these people are getting.
Well, they do local shows. They do there's
Yeah.
a lot of different.
Yeah.
Just like here, we have our stuff that's based out of the city.
Right.
They've got some stuff,
There's
but it's
performances
definitely
everywhere.
not what it was 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
Florida used to be a hub for all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. Now you go to the Universal lot, and I work there, and it's just sad. All these great big studios are not doing anything, and they don't really film anything at Disney.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to get those
Well,
incentives back.
Exactly. Well, it's true. That's why everyone moved to Atlanta.
Yeah,
Because all the
it's-
incentives that
that's
they're
a
doing
big place to be
or
now.
Georgia in general.
Yeah.
So they're all shooting in there.
Even not just actors but production friends. I've had to say bye to so many good friends who are like, there's just not enough work here for me. I'm moving up to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
God,
so-
the whole cast of Crazy Lake is gone.
Yeah, we
Pretty
had
much.
our 8 leads are they're either in Atlanta or LA, and some of them are on series and doing great. So you can't knock it.
Yeah,
They
you got Marco was in the
The-
Havana.
Havana,
Right at the
na na na.
beginning,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's at the beginning of that music video.
Soap opera.
Yeah, which
guy.
is kind of cool, and he's doing other stuff out in LA. Skylar Joy is on the Star series P Valley, which is just got renewed for a second season, and she's going to be on it. So that's really cool. Yeah, she's one of the leads on that show, and it's received pretty well. So yeah, it's exciting to see people that you work with,
Oh, yeah.
and then go off and are doing big things.
I love this business.
Yeah,
It could take you anywhere, honestly. You could be
Yeah.
anything, do anything. It's just,
And at the same time, it's a big pain in the ass.
it's
Yep.
true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. But that's
No.
part of everything. Any other job.
yeah, and just
Any
like with
other
any other
industry.
job, you get what you put into it.
Right.
Like those actors are working really hard to get to the next steps in their career. And if you want to be a filmmaker, it's kind of the same ladder.
Somebody posted in one of the film groups a couple weeks ago, and he said, I'm wanting to make a movie, and I want to know what some of the pitfalls are that made the movie process
Unusual.
very difficult. And I typed
Existing.
working with human beings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's true.
It is.
You
Yeah.
know,
It is.
bumper
It's
sticker.
so unpredictable
We can
because
make
there's
a
so many
movie
different
with no
personalities.
humans.
You never
Yeah.
know what you're gonna
Yeah,
get.
Wall-E.
make Nightmare Before Christmas or something like
Yeah,
that,
oh, yeah.
and you could do that. But yeah, it's a team sport, and that's you got to figure out how to make that work. And that's really the role of the director, is kind of be the coach or captain
Yeah.
and make that team work.
Well, that's what the director's for. I mean, if there was no problems, why do we need this guy?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's why
the problem solver.
when I worked with Kevin Smith, like he was in his trailer, and we'd set up everything, and he would just come out, and he would just make it a good time.
What was he doing in his trailer?
I think he
You
was
weren't allowed
doing
to
some
know.
macrame or
Yeah, knitting.
no. When that trailer door opened,
It was like the van on Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
yeah,
Yes.
and
He
Oh
was
my
testing
God.
smoke machines.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't smoke, but like part of me really wanted to smoke with
With
him.
him.
Right.
If
Oh, yeah.
There could be anyone.
If you ever get an opportunity to smoke with any, you smoke with Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Cheech and
Cheech and
Chong.
Chong.
Oh yeah, if you have an
Kevin
opportunity to
Smith.
smoke with these people,
Seth
Yeah.
Rogen.
take
Yeah.
it.
Do
Do
it.
not say
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I miss that bus. But yeah, it was cool getting to work with him.
Is that movie ever gonna come out?
I think it's there's a trailer. I
saw
think
the
for it.
trailer, like, a
Yeah,
while
so it would make me think that it's this year coming out.
A lot of things got
Haven't
pushed to next year, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
A lot
got
of
kind of an interesting distribution strategy though. So he's changed things up the way he kind of almost self distributes now,
Yeah.
like he did
Why
with
wouldn't
the Jay and Silent Bob. They went on like tour with it, which is kind of a unique but cool way to recoup, the money.
I just went to that movies pop-up restaurant.
Yeah,
that
that's
they
in
did.
Orlando, right?
Yeah, it was only for I think 2 or 3 weeks, but It was all right. It was a money grab.
So by the
Oh, yeah.
time you're listening to this,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Well,
Gone.
that's the key to marketing. Key to
Right.
marketing. You know,
Timing.
yeah,
Yeah.
timing, the location,
Yep.
just the word of mouth.
But it was nostalgia. You know, it was cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nostalgia. Anyway.
Don't you hate that?
Me?
Uncomfortable silences.
I don't. Do we have those?
I don't do
Awkward
He's-
silence.
He's doing a line from Pulp Fiction.
Never seen it.
He don't like both. He don't like Tarantino.
He doesn't
don't.
like Tarantino.
I don't. I don't.
That makes life really hard.
I don't. I just don't like the style because I think it's so predictable. I think it's a very predictable style, and it's just like Rob Zombie's. His stuff is like
Ooh,
so.
careful. That's my.
Oh.
That's my.
I will go
boy.
this all day long.
All right.
This is
Let's go.
That's
We'll
like
go.
saying Wes Anderson, I don't like your style, or any like Spielberg,
Whoa.
it's too magical. Like
One thing
Shame.
No.
I've learned from we've been kind of talking and hanging out a little bit more recently, and we have very different taste in movies.
But that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Mm.
Very
Yeah.
different.
same taste in women.
I like good movies.
You mean women with
Apparently he
boobs?
doesn't.
Yeah. Check.
That is
No,
a
but
preference.
it is. We have definitely different views on movies, but we appreciate the art. We appreciate the
Of course.
culture. Like it's just like I'll watch his movies. Doesn't
Okay.
mean I have to like them
Right,
or
that's
like
fair.
some certain techniques that some people do.
Sure.
I just don't like some stylistic choices. I just don't follow along with Tarantino too much. Only a couple
So you
movies.
don't like cool.
The crash zooms.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Well, I think the only ones I like Reservoir Dogs. I liked
Kill Bill.
nope.
True Romance.
Whoa.
Get out of
Do
here.
you like True Romance?
Come
Nope.
on.
How the fuck do you not like True Romance?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Like I
My
said, some
friendship
stylistic
is like
choices,
dwindling.
So we're all gonna turn this way now.
just different style choices that I just don't. I just don't like. I don't know.
Jackie Brown. Do you like
Oh, I love that movie. Love that. I actually watched that the other day. Actually, was on yesterday.
Glorious Bastards.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
God. Yes.
If
If you
some
haven't seen it,
parts.
it's okay.
Django.
Django and that was
Okay, yeah.
fantastic.
I did like that one. I like Jamie Foxx.
What was the other
Yeah.
one?
Once
you like
Upon a Time in
Kill
Hollywood.
Bill?
I actually like that movie.
That was-
I actually like that
Do
movie.
you like Once Upon a Time? in
Yeah, I
Hollywood?
like that one.
See, that was like our
Worst
one of our
movie.
least favorite.
Well, I
Ever.
like the era. I like
So
the era. I like the behind the scenes type of
Mhm.
thing. I
like
like
that.
that format. I like.
You don't like that one?
I
Mhm.
liked the ending of
Yeah,
that.
I did.
I think
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you and I could be wrong about that movie because, like, at
A
the
lot of
film
people
festival
like
it
it.
premiered at, they gave it like a
8-minute standing ovation.
8-minute,
Yeah, really.
standing ovation. I do agree with Blake. I think it finally felt like a Tarantino movie at the end, and that's
Yeah.
like what I like.
Right.
I get what he was trying to do, pay tribute, pay homage. It's
It's
just
funny.
like
The first time I watched it, I went with Sean, and we were watching the movie, and it's it's building up to that Sharon Tate murder,
Yeah.
mhm.
and he basically pulled the rug out from under you,
Like, you're not getting that.
and I was so upset
Because you wanted it.
because it was
Yeah.
building up to that, and
Okay.
you knew what was going to happen. It was just sitting there,
Right.
and it didn't happen,
It was a
and I was
tease.
kind of like, I felt like I was tricked, and I left the theater. I was pretty upset about it.
He got
I'm
you.
not gonna watch a movie
Yeah.
anymore.
I was cussing. I was mad. And then I went and watched it again with you and my son,
Uh-huh.
and I liked it more the second time I watched it,
Okay.
but I still rate it like the
Lower.
lowest of his
See, that's
all
weird.
his movies.
I just think the choice that he made in that movie, I liked.
But here's the thing: it's got great acting, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got great music, like all his movies do.
Yep.
The
Um,
stunts were fun.
I just
Yeah.
felt like the story and the nothing really happened.
Right. He's
Like-
he's the master of building tension and suspense. If you think about like
Right.
just the opening of Inglorious Bastards, or
But he removed that expectation from you and gave it a different, like,
It's
je ne
a
sais
to-
quoi.
It's a totally different
Yeah,
feel.
sure.
But the thing, you know what I think was missing though? Like Tarantino and also Kevin Smith are known for their dialogue. Like you
Yes.
can watch a
Okay.
movie of two people sitting there. Like basically Hateful Eight is four people riding in a
In a room.
stagecoach for like an
Starting.
hour. And you're engrossed because the dialogue is so amazing.
Okay.
And I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood didn't have that amazing dialogue that he's known for, and it just missed. I don't know. It just missed the mark. For
Maybe
me.
too many
I-
moving parts. Maybe too many
Wait,
too many
I
side
can't
stories.
put my finger on
Like
really
what?
why I didn't like it.
Okay.
It just
Hmm.
it felt
It's-
kind of flat. And
when it when it was being talked about, we heard Tarantino is doing a movie about, the
Oh, yeah.
Manson.
The Manson murder, and
The
Charles
Manson
Manson
mur-
was in the movie, what, 20 seconds?
Right.
Yeah.
So you
He
get
was there.
excited, like,
Right.
oh, he could tackle this story and make
Yeah.
it crazy
Right.
and good. This is so
And I
exciting.
think that's what people were, or at
Were
least I was
expecting.
expecting that.
So you were expecting like a natural born killer
showing
type
the
of movie?
Sharon Tate thing, and
Okay.
built around the two, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, building the whole Manson thing around their story, and it just wasn't. And again,
Well-
I felt tricked.
Well, well, you got to think of, there's
That's
other
what I was
stories that need to be told. Not a
Of
lot of
course,
people.
I'm not saying that it shouldn't have been told. I'm
Right.
just saying the way it was promoted and the way it played out was different.
Okay.
Like it tricked me, and I didn't like it. I don't like
It got a gotcha moment.
He went and took an AIDS test afterwards.
The wrong choices have been made. He questioned everything after that.
Everything.
But I don't know. I liked it. And there was another movie that he did that I liked. I can't put my finger on it. There was one other
Death Proof.
No,
Death Proof.
You know, like
Oh
Death
Proof.
gosh.
no.
Really?
Dude, I told you, like,
I like
I have
that.
a very, like, some things hit me, like
Okay.
one thing could set me off. Like, certain movies with, like, if one thing happens, I'm turned off immediately. Like, there's something, like,
No longer
it's
invested.
unpredictable. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable what moment it's going to be or what it's going to be. But when I see it, it's like, oh, no.
There it is.
No. don't
See,
do it.
I just have to finish whatever it is I'm watching. Like I'll
I mean,
fall
I'll
asleep,
finish
like,
it, I just
sometimes,
won't-
and I'll, like,
You-
start
You
back
don't,
or,
yeah,
like,
you don't
10 minutes
finish
back.
movies. Who are you talking about?
That's so
People
funny, I used to
literally
do
fall
that.
asleep 10 minutes in, and they'll be like, "What I miss?" I gotta tell them the whole entire 2-hour movie.
I used to be like that. No matter how bad it was,
Yeah.
I felt like I needed
Gotta
to
know.
finish
Gotta
it.
know.
Yeah.
And now, once you get
So,
older,
yeah.
that shit stops. 'Cause
Okay.
you're
Wasting,
wait a
like,
minute,
wasting
I got how
precious
much
time.
time left on this earth?
Oh, yeah. I don't take naps anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I haven't taken a nap in probably 6 years. Like, I haven't taken a nap in forever. So I don't know.
I would advise a
Took a nap
nap.
yesterday.
They're
I would-
wonderful.
I mean, like you said, I got so much
Take
stuff
some-
to do.
pop some
So much.
melatonin.
Well, I
Knock
mean,
out for 30 minutes.
no,
Good.
that won't
Well,
work. That won't work. There's just too much stuff to do. Like, I just think there's 24 working hours in a day,
Yeah.
and I just think that there's always something to work on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm either editing,
I'm saying this
researching
like I
something.
take naps. I never rest. So he's the one getting all the sleep for me.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
sleep when you're dead. That's my motto. Sleep when you're dead. Like I said, there's always so much stuff to do. Like I said, I always got something to edit, write, or research. Like, there's always something to do. Like, especially here when I'm still building everything now, like my
Yeah.
my warehouse sets.
Yep.
Like, I'm producing a couple different shows, movies. Like, it's just my
Yeah.
mind is going like this. To shut down, I have to take a lot just to fall asleep. Just the
Whole bottle of melatonin, that one.
not even. I take 50 milligrams of melatonin just to fall asleep,
Jeez.
Dude.
plus a sleeping pill, plus another anxiety pill.
NyQuil, bourbon, just load it up.
That was my college. That's how I was in college. A whole bottle of NyQuil.
And that's another issue with the cheerleader sleepover slaughter is
No,
I
NyQuil.
usually had Sean
Right.
helping me or Jason helping me, and I have nobody helping me, and it's literally consumed my life. And I'm letting
taking
things
over.
kind of fall, like responsibilities falling by the
Mm.
wayside,
Okay.
and the missus is not too happy about it.
Sounds
And
familiar.
so
yeah.
um,
There.
I had to kind of take a step back, figure out
Maybe that's why I'm
really
single.
what I want to do, and then I gotta make a decision soon.
Okay.
Well, yeah. When you take all those responsibilities on your back, it's
hard.
You get punched in there are a lot of different directions for different things, and it's not fun. It's not
But
fun.
me and Jason do have something in the works.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting married.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the wedding of the year. You don't have to wear masks, guys.
What's the color? What's the color?
It's actually a theme.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
The
Dusty
theme is
Roses.
rainbows,
Yay!
and we're really looking forward to it. And all you guys are invited except one of you.
Okay. What we want.
No. Yeah, we've
This
been.
is why I'm single.
Yeah, we had a project idea last year, kind of formulate, which was something that we could do that was less locations, and it's kind of ballooned. And that's the way these all work. It's a snowball situation where somebody's like, "Oh, I got this idea for something," and usually with him and I, it'll be, "I got this idea for something. Is it crazy?" kind of thing.
Right.
And then he'd kind of tell me how he would do it. And I go, here's how I would do it, you know, and then it kind of
Me too.
nothing happens, and then he writes a script for it and then sends it to me, and I'm like, well, you might want to change this or this kind of thing.
And then it's like, why don't you just rewrite it?
Yeah.
Why
And
don't
like,
you just
okay.
take a hold of it?
Yeah,
I'll do it.
But that's the best thing about collaboration. Like when every movie that you work on, there's always someone to reach out to and pick their brain.
Bounce ideas off of it,
Yeah.
The dynamic between me and Jason is, again, we have the idea.
It's beautiful.
We'll talk about it a little bit. I'll write a script, send it to him. He'll rewrite it.
Script.
I'll kick him in the ass, and then we'll make it.
Okay.
Well,
And
there you go.
that's pretty much
That's,
how it goes.
That's kind of how it was filming with him. We were like, I got like 7 pages of script, and then we got there. He goes, just ad lib with me. We got this. I'm like,
Just go.
okay.
Just
Yeah,
run with it.
just go with what you feel.
Yeah.
Go with what you feel.
Probably 80% of what we did was just because we were just hanging out with each other. Like we had 20% with that,
That
like
was
2 or
nice.
3 lines were like, we have to hit these ones. Everything else is just like, we're just gonna have fun.
Fluff. Everything else is
Yeah.
fluff.
right. You got to progress the story, but then we can kind of have fun,
Yeah.
and we did.
Yeah.
And yeah, that movie didn't have a lot of comedic stuff in it, and
Oh, what's
You
funny
guys
is
had it.
I was funny too.
when I first cut the movie together, it was like 40 to 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
And we obviously needed to add some scenes.
Mhm.
And the scenes that we added completely changed
The whole feel of
the
the
Yeah.
whole
whole
movie.
thing.
Yeah.
Like the first part, when we first cut it, it was kind of creepy and,
It's a little bit
naked girls
darker.
eating people and stuff like that. And then they added this
Element.
comedy to it, and like it completely changed the whole complexion of the entire movie.
It worked,
And I
yeah.
think for the better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it went from being a movie with naked girls and gore to actually a fun movie. Like it's fun.
How about a
It was
spin-off? Let's do a spin-off.
Yeah.
Well, actually, me and Sean were talking about doing a sequel, but that's
Oh,
not
gosh.
gonna work.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, let's just do a spin-off somehow. That wouldn't.
But we do have a comic book coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
All the covers are
Pretty
so
badass, right?
amazing.
It was
My,
really
my
cool.
head
Jason
was
got
on
to
one of them.
see-
My head was on
Yeah.
one of them.
Yep.
Just
Just
the
the
head.
head.
Jason
The
got
only
to
good
see
part.
the preview of it over
Oh,
the
really?
weekend.
Yeah,
we got
'cause
the
they were at
comic
the,
book guys were at the
Oh, at the
convention.
event.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And they pretty much have the whole thing like in a lookbook, like all the panels out and everything is just
Cool.
pretty much needs to be
Just the
colored.
first edition, or first couple books, or
They're just doing the first book
Yeah.
right now, and then see how it does, and then
I'll
we have
say-
3 books planned.
Okay. Are you gonna do a separate Kickstarter for each?
Well, he did a
Book.
Kickstarter, and now they're doing an Indiegogo, and
Okay.
once that's finished, then that's gonna launch the first book.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the comic could be more popular than the
Oh
film.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been getting
Yeah.
a lot of attention.
I say
for
we
sure.
we were in the film. We already bought one of like the.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
$50
As soon
perks,
as they
we
were
like,
doing
I
it, I
want
was like, give it
Yeah,
to me.
the,
Yeah.
and it's
Comics,
also isn't it also like
pretty
cheaper to
badass.
distribute like a comic book even online compared to like,
Digitally.
yeah.
No, I
Potentially?
Initially easy.
Yeah, but that's a good. I mean, when people are making films, they're wondering like, what how do I, if I'm going to self-distribute, what kind of ways can I do that?
Right.
And like a comic book, if it's the right project attached to it and you connect the right people, I mean that's another avenue to go. You just
Right.
got to be creative, and it's cool that these guys connected with
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
comic
funny, I
book
was at a
artists who
comic
liked
book
it.
store, and the guy walked in and was talking to the owner about getting his comic book, put if he wanted to buy them wholesale to sell at his shop. And I just walked up to him like, "Hey, you make comic books?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like,
Cool.
"Dude, I got so many movies I would want to make
Yeah.
a comic book out of." So we started talking, and I got with Sean, and we decided that's the book that we wanted to do. I was actually, when I first approached him, I was talking about doing Crazy League,
Okay.
but I felt like it would have just been so hard to get the rights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
from
because
those
we've worked
guys,
with
and
we had producers that we'd have to get them to sign off on.
so I felt like, hey, we got Naked Cannibal Campers. I think that would be a cool comic book, and we own the rights, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we won't have any issues. And
It's beautiful.
it took off, and it's badass. Like the artwork, and
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
so
the
awesome.
comic should have come out first, and then you guys do the movie based on the
Right.
comic.
Yeah,
and
based
we
on
might be
it,
doing
flip it
that
around.
after the.
We'll just reshoot some scenes. and-
Re-release it. Yeah.
But
now
yeah, like the
new
first
scenes.
book is pretty much based on the movie,
Okay.
Mhm.
and then the second and third books are going to be like pre-stories, and they're going to take characters and build
Little
their
side things,
arc
yeah.
from there, and
Okay.
it's just gonna
So
be
you could be
So we-
coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one
So
of
we're
the
gonna
main-
Snyder cut this bitch.
Yes.
I mean, Blake's
or
one
a
of the main
prequel,
people.
or a
Yeah.
prequel.
Prequel.
Yeah, Blake's one of the main people on the book. Like There's a lot of cool
Okay.
shit.
That's awesome.
Now I'm
There's
excited
a
to go.
badass fight between you and Sushi and
Really? Okay.
like karate and all kinds of stuff. It's
I didn't
pretty
know you
cool.
karate.
I didn't know either.
Do you now?
Surprise.
But what's cool about the book, the guy was telling, we were talking about it, and he was like, the cool thing about comics is there's no budget. Like, you can have a gazillion dollar budget. You can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's cool about it. Because there was a lot of things that we wanted to do with the movie that we couldn't because we had no money. And you're able to do that in the book. So it's pretty neat. If you have a movie and want to make it a comic book, I highly suggest it.
Yeah.
Or if you're an artist, you could
Get with movies.
you could make the comic first,
Yeah.
and then once that gets traction, you kind of have a fan base, which
And
will
I think
help.
that's typically how it works, right?
Yeah.
Usually it's based on a comic, but now it's all of these great comics have already been adapted, so it's almost you kind of have to come up with something. And
Actually,
then,
I heard Keanu Reeves just came out with a book called Berserker,
Mhm.
and they're gonna
Gonna
make that a
do a
Netflix
movie.
series.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Stuff, yeah.
Well, it's also
Sorry,
easier to
man.
storyboard too because
You have it.
Yeah.
It's there.
the storyboard is
Storyboard,
literally right
yeah.
there.
And that's why I don't understand how DC keeps screwing up movies. I'm
I
like,
know,
you
it's
already
all
have the
right
comic
there.
book. Like, it's
Well, they
there.
want to reinvent the wheel. They want to reinvent the wheel. That's what they
Yeah,
want.
they're trying
Stop
too
it.
hard.
Yeah, it's just
So-
too much.
Unfortunately, they had to make a 4-hour movie to like fix.
But it was amazing.
It was
I
amazing.
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it was.
haven't
Oh.
Yeah, you're not a part of this.
I haven't had
this talk.
4 hours.
That is amazing.
dedicated in the last week.
I tried to watch it, but I couldn't. I just can't get into any of the new DC movies. It just feels like they want to be,
It's completely like out of that universe basically. Basically, he's rewriting the universe on his in his image pretty much.
After
what he
the
wanted.
Nolan stuff, man, it's just like
Yeah, it made me
Rock and
appreciate
roll.
Nolan more. I think what bothered me about this and some of the other DC films is it was just like, guy fighting CG
right.
character, and it
Mhm.
just all felt like, for as expensive as it was, it felt cheap.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, the what the hell is the name? Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Like what?
But he's not the main villain in this thing.
It's Darkseid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
it's not even. It's
But
a
even
totally different
Marvel,
story.
like, even Marvel, like
Steppenwolf is
Thanos,
an
was
outcast.
CGI, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
was still cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
it was like a hybrid
Yeah.
enough that it didn't
It's
bother
like-
me. They rode that line.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of true for all comic book movies, and
Yeah. I mean, most of the evil people in most of these comic book movies are CGI.
CGI.
Right.
Yeah.
but that's what
Like,
You
how
know,
do you screw up Batman? Like, come on. It's
Even-
pretty
Well, look
easy
how
to
many
be-
stories
yeah.
he's had. Like,
To
he's
make
been
Batman
around
Yeah,
since
cool,
the
he's
to
been-
50s.
make a cool movie.
even
Since the
the
golden era of
the
comics.
Ben Affleck like Batman, it looked cheap to me.
Yeah,
Something
he's
about like the
chunky.
way the
You know,
mask. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just-
like a lot of their like their action scenes. They just look
Like
weird.
busy.
Like Wonder Woman running out, and
There's a lot of
there's like
slow
all
mo.
this stuff
Yeah,
going on.
That's what we
Definitely.
talked
the
about on the
music's
Pop
like
Jedi.
down,
podcast.
down.
Yeah.
You know, it's real cheesy music,
yeah.
and it's just.
You mean her
it
theme
just
music?
doesn't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the
Doesn't
theme
work.
music when they were like on the Amazon island. And
Yeah.
like, so, like,
Yes.
that makes sense. But like in the middle of battle sequence when you already have music for
Going
that
on.
battle, and all of a sudden just
Yeah.
Right.
Where did
okay,
this come
I guess
from?
she's here now. So
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
There's just something about the new DC.
Yeah.
I
movie
I
that
think
just-
what they want is they see the success of Marvel,
Yeah.
so they're like, let's do some of that, and also like, oh, we loved what Nolan did. Let's try and combine that, and they're not good
Not
at
working.
either.
Not kidding.
Yeah.
So they're trying to mesh these two things that they think are good, when really I think we've seen when you let filmmakers have the reins to do their thing, like
Mhm.
Christopher Nolan,
Right.
or even
Uh,
Logan,
Jon Favreau.
or
Johnson.
or the Deadpool movies. You're letting people put their own spin on it.
Right.
Yeah, when you get too many cooks in the kitchen. Now, Star Wars and Marvel have kind of been successful, like overseeing people.
Yeah.
They've done well. What was the Thor Ragnarok, where they kind of loosened the reins a
Yeah.
little bit?
I love that movie.
Well,
I know,
Waititi,
it was fun.
Waititi is like an amazing like director in general.
Right.
So he was already in with Kevin Feige before that. Like, so he
Right.
knew exactly what
I
direction.
think he got
He
it.
was trying
Yeah.
to go with.
Yeah.
But you see people who don't play by their rules, and sometimes they get let go because it's not enough. Like with Solo, the two directors got fired, and Ron Howard had to come in and finish it. And they're like, "Why did you hire us if you didn't like what
What
we
we
do.
were doing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you could say the same thing about the original Justice League before the Zack Snyder. They had Zack Snyder. Unfortunately, his daughter Autumn died, but they didn't want his movie to come out in general. They pretty much, when they brought Joss Whedon in, they redid 75% of
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
He was very yeah, Zack Snyder's
75%
very-
of that movie. So basically, everything that we saw in the new Zack Snyder cut was totally all old
This is the old footage.
old footage,
Mhm.
original footage that was like it's a new movie. It's
Yeah,
like
it was
totally not
supposed to
even 75% of a movie of a 4-hour movie. Like that's
Yeah.
literally, and they cut their original one down to what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think it
Mhm.
was.
Yeah.
So
It was too little. I mean, I don't think it should have been 4 hours. That was a lot. But I mean, it should have been
It's
a
like
little
Lord of the
bit
Rings
longer.
level.
well,
Yeah.
because they didn't greenlight Cyborg's movie, so they had to
Mhm.
give more Cyborg
Throw him in
of,
there.
of,
Yeah.
of, of a building, because Wonder Woman had her movie,
Mhm.
Batman's.
Had
Everyone knows
billions.
Everyone knows. Yeah.
Everyone has Batman, and they have a new Batman coming out. So
Well, you know what? You're saying everybody knows Batman, but like Man of Steel, I hated Man of Steel because they didn't develop Clark Kent. Like they didn't
Yeah.
develop him at all.
Mhm.
Everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, well, we already know who Superman is, so just throw him in there and get some bad guys." And
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
it
let
just
it go.
missed the
Speaking
mark.
of, have you been watching the Superman and Lois series?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh
With Dean Kane?
no, that was
No.
Lois. That was the other one. That was
That was the other one.
Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark.
But the new one is really good.
Okay.
It actually goes. It's Superman going back to Smallville, and it's a
Interesting.
totally different. Yeah, it's
Okay.
really. I like the. It's essentially supposed to look like the original Smallville, but after the fact.
Mm.
So
Okay.
it's what it looks like. They're going back to that farm, and it's just
See, I
just
love
building
that
new
show. It's
stories
very
from
nostalgic for me.
from
Something I should watch.
from after Superman became Superman, and then had kids, and then he moved back to Smallville with his kids.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting how some of these series are proving to be done better than a lot of the films, like
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorian
You got
and
10 hours to
Oh,
tell a
gosh,
story
yeah.
as opposed to
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
hours.
So they can
Mm.
flesh out
You can do a
stories
hell of
and
a lot
characters, build character development. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
more that they can work with.
especially when you have comics that, are years of
Oh,
story,
oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, yeah, they can choose anyone. They could pluck any character out. Okay, let's throw him in there,
Yeah.
shuffle that around. And
Yeah.
Well,
So,
it's like all the crossovers for CW. Like they have like what 6 different shows
Oh,
that
yeah.
are all just.
well, Superman and
superhero
Lois is one of the
lines.
Yep,
crossovers.
it's in there.
Yeah, that's their.
So that's another one.
And right now, all of those are on one Earth now. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily.
It's
They're on Earth Prime,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
like in the comics, Earth Prime. So they're
You're
actually.
losing me.
Huh?
That's
You're
the thing.
losing-
I watched Arrow,
Yeah.
Oh.
a lot of seasons, and I watched like
Flash.
3 seasons of The Flash, and I really enjoyed Arrow. And then they started like crossing over with Flash and getting into this World 2 and Earth 5, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
But,
I'm
but,
like,
but,
yeah, you
that's
lost me.
actually like
And then I just
consistent with
stopped
the
watching
comics,
it.
though.
It is.
That-
yeah, I
that-
understand.
that-
I don't like the different
I don't
universes.
like that you
and-
had to watch like they tried to make it so you had to watch every single series
And I
order to
did.
get the
In
whole
order to
stories.
understand,
I
yeah.
would just go online and be like, okay, when do I need to cross over to know where we are?
I would
in the
just
story?
watch
Yeah.
that episode.
behind, watch the crossover,
Yeah.
and then go back to where I belong, which is Flash and Arrow.
Well, see, there's no more Arrow.
I hated DC. The Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Not
I didn't like
into
that
it
either.
at all.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
care. I'm like,
Well, they
you're
took all the
side
obscure characters from
Yeah.
Arrow, which is pretty obscure already.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
made them their
All
own
the people
show.
they didn't give a shit about, they just gave another show.
Yeah. I'm pretty into comics. I was like, who is this person?
Yeah, well, they had Adam. Yeah, no one really big that was
Yeah,
had any
they weren't-
following.
They were
Yeah.
huge characters, so it was like
Mhm.
if they give them their own show, maybe they'll get some flight, and it's like
Mm.
they're in there for the.
It was on for
crossovers.
well, yeah, pretty much.
Like, that was-
I think I'm
they were
too
there for a lot of
linear.
seasons. I think they were there for 5 seasons. I think
Yeah.
it was.
Mhm.
But I think the DC shows are more true to the comics,
Oh
Yes.
and then
sure.
the movies are trying to rewrite the wheel. But
yeah.
now they're going with the new Flashpoint in the movies,
Yep.
and they're going to try to go back to. And then now, if you saw the crossover event in the DC
Crisis.
shows,
yeah,
Cri-
Crisis on Infinite
Yep.
Earths.
Flash from the movies was in that. So
Yeah.
that's
That I liked.
the,
Yeah. I
the-
like that too.
so now they're trying to get on that wheel, and I think they're going to start getting more aligned with the shows and movies.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
So I think now they're going to try to get on the same page.
Well, Marvel's doing that right now as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which,
Well, look at Agents of Shield. It has
Spider-Verse.
nothing to do with
Yeah.
the show.
WandaVision,
right.
throwing that
but
in.
WandaVision.
Well, oh yeah,
and
that's the same universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Agents of Shield is not. There's another one. Runaways is not.
Okay.
That's not canonical. there's another show I've been watching that's with the mutants. So basically, any X-Men, they're not in the series yet, so that's not in
But-
there yet.
It seems like that's about to change.
Well, that's the
now,
next step. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the next
hopefully.
phase.
I'm waiting for it.
which is, for me, I've never seen a great X-Men film done, and growing up, that was always my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the First Class, was it, or the
X-Men
X-Men
First
First
Class.
Class.
First
Yep.
Class was better, but those first three, I was young when they came out, and I was like, yes, and then I was like, not great. I mean, but even worse, they've never done a good Fantastic Four, and they've
Oh,
tried
yeah.
I know.
multiple
Oh my
times.
Yeah,
gosh.
and they're gonna
The last
reboot it
one-
again.
The
No.
last one might be
No,
the worst
please.
movie ever made. Like,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Honestly, I liked Silver Surfer, then the original
Yes.
Fantastic Four, and then the reboot. Like that's how I would categorize
Yeah.
them.
you
Like,
can't.
I don't even want
Like
Silver
Silver
Surfer to be on
Surfer
that list.
I think Fantastic Four should get the Hulk treatment, where basically Hulk doesn't get his own movies now. He's just a
He's
character.
just in
I think the
there.
Fantastic Four should be
Right.
that.
okay.
I think the Invisible Woman should show
Why
up in
haven't they
certain
made a
movies.
Silver Surfer movie? Like, he's
I
one
know,
of my
like,
favorites, and that's
he's
such a
got-
he's
Yeah.
got such a cool
story.
story.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
And
they
you
got
actually-
the technology
and
now
you
to
could
be
do
able to do it.
Galactus right instead of
Yeah,
having be a fucking
exactly.
cloud.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
didn't like that at
Well,
all.
I mean,
well, Green Lantern was a historical
Yeah.
flop on every aspect. But they got Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively together. That was
Yeah.
literally
Yeah,
the,
that was the good thing
that was the
about
only
that
reason
movie.
for that movie, just
That's
for
all
them
I
to get
wanted.
together and married.
Yep. And Deadpool 2 fixed it, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
killed himself. That's great.
Gone, gone.
gone.
But they're redoing that. They're doing the Green Lantern Corps on
Yeah.
HBO Max. So
Yep.
they're trying to rewrite some stuff. Whether it comes out to fruition of anything positive,
Yeah.
we'll see. I have hope.
I want them
I
to have
actually,
success.
I'm hoping that they bring John Diggle from Arrow. I hope
I
they bring
love-
him.
yeah,
I
as
like
John
his
Stewart,
character.
as
Yes.
his stepdad in
Yeah.
Arrow.
Mhm.
I hope they pull
Oh,
him
maybe.
in as the one who found the ring at the end. 'Cause they didn't like the end of Arrow.
They
That drove me
teased.
nuts. That
Mm.
like, he glue green in a second because he found that little box.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Well, it was
Dude,
definitely a tease. Definitely a
so
tease.
mad.
But originally, it was supposed to be that Green Lantern that was supposed to be in Justice League.
Okay.
Yep.
It was supposed to be him, not Manhunter,
Interesting.
not
Okay.
Martian Manhunter. It was originally Zack Snyder wanted that character, but
Mhm.
WB has him coming on into HBO Max
Okay.
show, so they couldn't.
So they couldn't. Yeah.
yeah.
couldn't
So
pull
and
that
they said no, so they didn't greenlight it, but they didn't. Zack Snyder didn't want to have the audience that was begging for his movie to come out. That basically he was holding it on that.
off.
Okay.
So basically they were like, okay, I wanted to keep a person of color in, so I'm gonna give the Martian Man. Yes. So that's that's where that character came into
Okay.
Justice League. So basically that character of Green Lantern
That's the
was
sub.
originally supposed to be
Okay.
in that to set up the next phase or for the next sequels for that. So
Gotcha.
like I said, they're trying to correct stuff. I want to see Zack Snyder go on in that universe or
Yeah.
fix that universe in the movies, but I mean, there's a lot of talk for it, but we'll see.
I
Like,
just hated that everything, like every movie that DC's put out, it's so dark. And I'm like, the
Yeah.
comics were like so hopeful, like
Yeah.
until until you
And
get
that's
to like
the thing. How do you
Frank
screw
Miller's
up
Batman.
Batman? Like, just
Yeah.
put him in
Frank
his cool
Miller's
suit,
Batman is so
put him in the
everything
dark,
is the
and fight the
worst.
Joker.
Well-
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
Yeah.
well, it's different versions of the Batman.
Yeah.
It's different versions of just like you don't like the different universes of Batman. There's different ages of Batman.
Of course.
Just like the different ages of Joker. Like there's different versions. Like he's playing old man Batman as just like in the Crisis event.
Yeah.
Superman was I forgot the name of it, but the Superman that was originally from Superman Returns,
Mhm.
played by Ralph,
Mhm.
he came
Yeah.
back in that Crisis
As Superman.
as
Yep.
Superman.
It's an underrated movie.
Oh, I actually really
Yeah.
love that movie. I
Yeah,
actually
it's
really
really
like that movie. It just didn't get enough
No.
watch, didn't get enough appreciation because it wasn't connected to anything. Like there was
Yeah.
no build off of anything. Like
I also Kevin Spacey made a great Lex Luthor.
Oh, that was
like,
a great
my
movie. Yeah.
God.
I like
I
it.
was
I agree with
afraid
that.
of him. Fucking Jesse Eisenberg.
For
I
good
did
reason.
not-
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, like I had no fear of Jesse
Yeah,
Eisenberg's
that scene
character. I'm
when
like,
he's on the cliff and he sticks the kryptonite
Yeah.
in his back and he falls off the cliff. God, man.
he had more oomph. Like when you were scared of what
Yeah.
that Spacey was doing.
Spacey's a great actor. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
God.
But look at Gene Hackman. When he did it, it
Yeah.
was just different. Like I wasn't
He was
scared of him.
goofy.
He was just smart.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was goofy.
He's playing off the smart. Now Spacey's character was
That was
building more of
intense.
intimidation.
Yeah.
Intimidation. Now Eisenberg is just wonky,
Himself.
just
Wonky.
just
He's
off the
just out
ball.
there.
Like he's just
Dorky.
like okay,
Yeah.
calm down. What's going on?
Wouldn't you say Jesse Eisenberg kind of plays Jesse Eisenberg
In
every
every
movie?
So when
He's
you
just
hire
him.
him, that's what you're getting.
Like
Yes.
Will Smith.
Yeah,
Will Smith is Will Smith in
Yeah.
every
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Even as
Okay.
a genie.
Somebody posted today,
Yes.
who's a better actor, Will Smith or Jamie Foxx? I'm like,
What?
well, Jamie
Which-
Foxx
which
went
one's
from like
acting?
Wanda on Living Color to like
Playing
Django.
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah. I was
he's
just gonna say,
very
Ray
Will
was
Smith is
talented.
like Will Smith, every movie.
Yeah.
Will Smith played Ali and did a
Exactly.
pretty good
He
job.
did- I liked him in Ali.
Okay.
I
And
liked him in Ali.
I just watched the Fresh Prince reunion.
I didn't watch
See, I like comedy Will Smith.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like
Okay.
serious Will Smith.
The
doesn't
Earth-
do much for me.
You were talking about the reunion?
Fresh Prince reunion?
Yeah.
Yeah. I turned off Justice League and watched that.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
How's that go?
amazing.
And was much more satisfied personally. But I'm into the making of how things come together.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And on that, you got to see, because they recast the mom,
Yes.
you got to see Will Smith and that actress come together for the first time.
Now,
And
do you think that was for show, or do you think it was just?
no,
for-
I think it was for guilt. I think Will Smith has felt guilty about it for
Years.
all those years. And it really, I mean, he was the reason she got booted, because
Oh,
they
yeah,
had personal
absolutely.
differences. And at that point, it was whatever he wanted. So
Yeah.
to see them come together and apologize,
So
That's
sweet.
cool.
yeah, it was nice.
Okay, now this movie that he's done, Gemini Man.
Ugh,
I didn't see it.
I watched
I,
half of
I
it.
didn't even touch it.
Just
I
like
saw the
everybody.
commercial and
I
was like,
liked
nah.
I watched half of it.
concept of it, but it was more building up on
That movie
like
was a mess.
yes it was, but also there was some points that where you could actually see it realistically happening
Okay.
at the same time.
Yeah.
But it also touched upon like the cloning process
Mhm.
and building an army of clones like Star Wars.
Okay.
Yep.
So basically, they're using clones instead of losing.
Instead of losing his person.
Yes.
I mean, I'd rather watch. Do you
Well,
guys
that was the
remember
concept of it.
Looper.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like,
movie.
I
Hayden
felt like
Christensen?
that was like almost the same
Same kind
plot
of
device as
yeah,
Gemini Man. I was
pretty
like, I've already
much.
seen this in
Oh, no.
a different color.
Was it Gemini Man directed by Ang Lee as well?
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The guy who gave us Brokeback Mountain?
Okay.
To this
And
day,
then-
I have never watched it.
I mean,
Really?
Hey,
did Will
it's
Smith
just us
kill
here.
himself?
If you've seen it, that's fine.
I've never seen it.
And
Look.
whoever else
can
watches.
admit it.
I've never watched it either. I'm not a Western.
I've watched gay porn. I don't care. But I've never seen that movie.
Literally going for it.
Yeah, as far as
But
like,
I'm just saying, like, I just knew where that question was going.
no, as far as like love stories go, it's one of the better love stories in the last 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Okay.
I guess I can give it a watch. I just
if
never
you're in
been.
the mood for like,
See, I don't
if
like-
you've seen The Notebook too many times and
Okay.
you
Go
want,
to that one.
Yeah. you want
That's
to
our
feel a
subject.
tender love
That's our
story.
subject
I've watched
next
Notebook
week.
many times.
Our subject next week: Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And we should
Plus-
watch The Crying Game as well.
No.
Do that.
I've seen it.
You should watch it just for Heath Ledger
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
tribute to
Yeah.
I love it.
like what a fantastic actor he is to see like
Was.
in that period of like
Right.
doing that film and then playing the Joker, like you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's got the goods. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
obviously Jake Gyllenhaal is great, and we know he's great
Oh, yeah.
in all those recent projects as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, watch it just to see Heath Ledger be amazing.
Yeah.
He-
Absolutely.
anything he does is really.
Yeah,
It's.
Oh,
I haven't
he's
seen a bad
phenomenal.
movie that he's done.
Mm-mm.
Like I just maybe Knight's Tale, but
Oh.
no, that's
Oh my gosh.
but I think that was. I
Test the
think
nerve.
no, but I think that was his love. Like I don't think there was any
That
real
was
bad
one of
movie.
the, yeah, that was one of the
It was
lower-tier
well. That I
ones,
mean,
but
it was
still good.
made to be campy. Like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
had
well, but like I
its
said,
flaws.
but I'm just saying, out of all his roles, I think that was like possibly the only one that I can actually name that would be not a
Mm,
par
yeah.
of like different quality.
it's
Okay.
fun to see him go from a movie like 10 Things I Hate About You
I
to
love
A
it. I
Knight's
still watch
Tale.
that movie.
And you see like there's actors in their career that make a decision that they're ready to be taken very seriously,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
now's the time, and so they will shift out of that. It's something that Matthew McConaughey did like midway through his career.
Yeah.
Just decided I'm done doing romantic comedies.
Yeah.
You know, he got offered
Dallas
like
Buyers.
crazy
Oh yeah.
Oh,
millions to play Magnum PI, and he was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna take a step back.
Matthew McConaughey
Dark
and Magnum
Tower.
PI?
Oh,
Yeah, and he got a big
Let's make Magic Mike.
multi-million dollar, offer for doing that,
Yeah.
and
The
then
guy
he
is
did,
like macho, like And Matthew McConaughey's
All
got,
right,
got
all right,
that
all right.
twang, man. I don't see it.
Well, neither could he, and then he started doing Mud and Dallas Buyers
they
Club and
got,
movies like that. And
Yeah.
Hernandez. What's his
Wolf
name?
on Wall Street, he was in. He did.
yeah, he had a
I loved
small.
his character in that. It
Yeah.
was so
That's
great.
So
That
I
whole
don't.
movie's so good.
I mean, a lot. I know he just was the point where he just like, all right, I'm doing this for me now, and I think that's what ultimately he wanted to do. Like, I think we touched upon that like last week, like if, on artsy movies where actors just want to do it for the art now, and just getting those are the movies I love. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of people haven't seen a lot of those movies. Like we on the first 10 movies that you've never seen, I named a couple of them movies that were artsy, not artsy, but off the mainstream, where basically it was just big talent doing like more art movies, more
Yeah.
movies that they just were passionate
Put
about.
more
That it was
creativity
really good,
into
like
it.
like the Margin Call movie that we were talking about, Kevin Spacey. Like
Okay.
as much power is in his acting ability, like
yeah.
unfortunately he's a douche, but he had that ability of in that movie that where it was just untouched by it.
Yeah.
Like it was just that movie was just intense by a lot of people in that movie. Like their skills and everything was just I love that
Yeah.
movie so much.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Some other actors I feel like are making that transition. I feel like Shia LaBeouf has like gone
Yeah.
through some stuff, and now he's
Oh,
making that
Dude,
decision.
I'll tell you what, that guy. I watched Peanut Butter Falcon,
Mhm.
and
his one about his dad and him, or
which one was that?
Honey Boy.
Oh
Honey
yeah,
Boy.
Honey Boy.
He's so method,
like
Yes, very much
he's
so.
really good. Too bad he's like kind of screwed
insane.
up, but
Yeah.
He lost.
such
a
a
Keep
couple
in mind he
of
was a
his
child
career.
actor, and
Yeah.
that's often a hard thing
Yeah.
to
It's
Get out
hard
of
to transition, yeah, from that.
Especially for Disney. Like Disney, like
Oh, yeah.
wrecks kids. Like
Well,
Yeah.
they overwork them. They
It's
do a
so
lot of
cool.
stuff. It's
Mhm.
just
especially if you watch Honey Boy, you can see that he wasn't really built for Disney to begin with. You know, he didn't have that cookie cutter clean
Mhm.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
so that getting thrust into that, is
it's like a
a
shock.
weird change.
Yeah, it's a shock. It's a shock to
Yeah.
anyone. Like just coming from the like where I grew up. I grew up in pretty much ghetto area, so I just if I go anywhere, it's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me think of Punky Brewster. Soleil Moon Frye has a documentary on Hulu.
Yeah.
It's something about growing up '90s, I think is what it's called. But she just was carrying around a camera
Yep.
through the '90s, and you have like Brian Austin Green, all these '90s actors.
Right.
They were all just hanging out, and you get to see kind of like a very real, like what life was like for them growing up. And at the end, there's like a list of actors, teen actors that are no longer there. It's like 10 people. It's like it's hard for some of them to just get out of it. And we just lost Dustin Diamond, who for various reasons he had a hard time, and he didn't die from drugs or anything, but he didn't have an easy life after Saved by the Bell.
Well, he didn't have
Yeah.
that look at that Hollywood too. He couldn't transition that much of anything else. He was always
Okay.
typecasted as that
Right.
Screech character. So that,
Yeah.
that,
Right.
that was what made it difficult for him because he wasn't like the good looking. He wasn't the the most talented.
Yeah.
He was just Screech. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how to like.
It's hard, and
That's
Mark
what happens.
Park-Gosselaar, who plays Zach, has been struggling with it his whole career, and he's done that sound means we've got to take a quick ad break.
Right after these messages, we'll
Use
be
promo code-
right back.
No,
This means renew your virus protection.
right.
software.
But you remember he did like
Take a shot for that too.
yeah, Dead Man on Campus, where he just like
Yeah.
dyed his hair black, because like when you see that blonde hair, it's like, oh, this
Yeah,
is Zach
there he is.
Morris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's worked his whole career to get away from that.
Type
Not that he
And that
know.
happens with mostly TV series that
Mhm.
make
Yeah.
it and they have a long run. Like
Sure.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Bang Theory, like
Oh god.
that's
yeah.
Sheldon.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's
and
gonna have a hard time.
that's Kramer. And
Oh,
Right.
it's just
Oh,
those
yeah.
those iconic characters.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to get away from that ever?
You
Daniel,
just
Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, he's tried really, really
Yeah,
hard,
Daniel
and he's
Radcliffe.
still like
And he
he's-
makes all these weird ass movies.
Yeah.
Too.
My
Because
friend
he's
was in a
trying to-
movie with him.
he's
My
just
friend was in a
trying-
movie with. He was like right off the cuff. He was just trying to get away from that.
Yeah.
He did
Yeah.
nude scenes. He's
Yeah.
just trying to
It's
get
like,
out of it.
please, I'm not Harry
Yeah,
anymore.
like all his
Broadway.
movies lately are just like,
Oh, yeah.
what is this that I'm watching?
strange.
He's trying to go as far away from his
Yeah,
Harry
Right.
Potter.
opposite end of the
Like
spectrum.
Swiss Army Man. And,
Oh, that was so weird.
Horns. Like,
I
and
liked Horns.
Bizarro.
Horns was a very
was actually
compelling
really good.
story, actually.
But
Yeah.
just and he did what was the one he just did?
Woman
It
in
was kind of
Black?
cartoony.
Oh
It
no.
was
No.
like
I don't know.
I'll
I
think
didn't
of
see
it in a
it.
second.
That was the last thing I saw that he was in was a woman in black. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
like
horror
that
movie.
movie.
That was
that was a
so
really good
spooky.
one. Yeah. See, I like the new horror. That's just the new ideas that are coming out. I just
Yeah, I think it's a good time for horror right now. We've got some really good horror filmmakers like Ari Aster and
yeah.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah.
See, he's more
Really
psychological.
good.
He's more psychological.
And
than-
that's
Right,
and
what I
which
love.
is
I
what
really
we-
love those.
I like the
we-
mind fucks.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is what we need.
Guns
Akimbo.
Akimbo. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Haven't seen it.
Guns Akimbo. Haven't seen it yet.
We go through phases of horror. It
Yeah.
feels like, we had the 90s, you had the teen,
Slasher.
the resurgence of kind of teen
Yeah.
Well, that was
we were
96.
talking about that last week about how Scream kind of kickstarted
Reset it,
the
yeah.
genre
Brought the horror,
again,
brought horror all back.
Brought
Like
it back.
And then you had the I Know What You Did Last Summers and all
Yeah.
the spin-offs.
And then we transitioned into like found footage horror after Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity, and during that time we also got Saw, which was kind of this like
torture porn.
torture
Torture,
porn,
yep.
like Hostel in those movies. And so now we're in a phase of
Paranormal, Conjuring, Insidious.
yeah, that was
Paranormal,
a
those
thing
three,
as
yeah.
well, and we're still in that, which James Wan is still making good stuff, and we're excited about Conjuring 3, and he'll keep doing that, which is cool. But now you have these more psychological Ari Aster and Jordan Peele type movies, which is a totally different thing,
Right.
and we're in that place right now,
Ari
which is
Aster disturbs me.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good place to be because I feel like it's elevating horror.
Oh yeah.
You know,
We're so desensitized to everything. It's the same stuff
Yeah.
over and
Well,
over.
I also
You-
think-
you need more.
I think we're at the same time where the ideas and creativity is aligning with technology nowadays. So
Mhm.
now they can actually pull off a lot of the ideas that they have. Now, if they had this technology back in, like, say, Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Mhm.
days, I think those would be,
Totally different animal. Yeah.
absolutely. I
Do
think
y'all like universe
Mm.
movies like Conjuring where they have built like a universe?
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
I like
Mhm.
connected stories, which is why I like Marvel,
Yeah.
like DC,
Kinda
like
like
all
them
of
too.
them.
There's
Yeah.
really not a lot of them.
No, there's not.
I like
They pretty much go.
what I noticed with those is when like James Wan isn't attached to them, they're not that good. You know,
Yeah.
Like
I mean, he's
Annabelle.
attached to him, but when he's not
Right,
directing,
right.
like,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
not.
he got that new guy that did Lights Out. That's
Yeah,
kind of
who's
directing stuff.
who's good and
He's
has
actually
done
pretty good.
some good stuff.
Yeah.
He
I think he did The Nun, and he did the last
I like
the Annabelle. Yeah,
That one didn't scare me as much as the others, but it was
Yeah.
still good.
That was Annabelle Creation.
Annabelle Comes Home.
That one.
dude, that
Yeah.
one.
Mm.
Annabelle
Dolls.
Comes Home was good.
Yeah. Annabelle Comes Home was better than
Yes,
Creation.
definitely.
I think that's like why I like Tarantino and Kevin Smith. Like they build a universe and they reference all their
Throughout,
characters in other
yeah.
movies
Mhm.
and stuff. And I
It's a
don't know. I
web.
think it's almost like Easter eggy, and I like
Mhm.
that. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I love Easter eggs.
Because it keeps you engaged. Like
Right.
if there's ever like a lull in the movie and all of a sudden like you see another character from another, you're like, holy crap, where did you come from?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it's fan service, which is
Yeah.
cool, and you build up your fan base, and you have that relationship of, hey, wink, wink, remember this, you know, and
Oh, so I was on a when I went to movies, I was like, man, I haven't watched Kevin Smith movies in a long time. So this week I watched Clerks, the first one I watched this version of Mallrats that was 2 hours long, and it had all these weird scenes in it, and everything was like off. It was so bizarre watching. It was terrible. I mean, I love I love Mallrats. Like, it's such a funny movie. But this version of it, it was almost like they took like if there was a line that somebody said that was in the movie, they used like the third take of him and put it in this other movie. Like
Like a
everything was just
throwaway
off.
one.
It was so
Yeah.
weird. And not that I condone it, but I watched it on Fire Stick because I couldn't find it to watch anywhere, so I put it on there.
I mean,
And it was so weird, and it just was like I just kept watching it. Like the whole beginning of the first 10 minutes of the movie, TS is at this governor's ball with Brandy's dad, and he's trying to schmooze somebody to give him money to make the show, and he's dressed in like this colonial outfit, and he accidentally fires his gun, and they think he's trying to assassinate.
Oh my god.
And it was just like, I was like, what am I
What
watching?
is
Like,
that?
it was weird because the characters were there, but it was
Yeah.
a totally different story that I didn't remember, and I was just like, I don't know what this is. But I kept watching it, and I watched the
Yeah,
whole thing, and it was awful. Like, I don't know why they cut all that stuff out.
Yeah, it's like
Because-
there was a reason.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
So
didn't
Like,
make
we
it.
don't need this
But it
side
was so
story.
weird.
Yeah.
And like I said, they were using like alternate takes of the lines,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know where it came from or how something like that would ever like.
It's like a Zack
surface.
Snyder, but the
Yeah, it
opposite
was
of
like-
that.
Yeah.
It was
The wrong
the
kind of-
worst. Zack Snyder trying to make a worse cut.
Yeah.
I can't
But it was
imagine.
really weird. But then I watched Chasing Amy, which is an amazing
Okay.
movie,
Yes.
and I watched Jay and Silent Bob this morning. I don't know. I like all those.
Did you watch the new one?
Universe? Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
It was. I mean, he
nostal-
regurgitates
it was
a
no-
lot in his movies,
But it was
that
also
one was
nostalgia
like
purposes.
Yeah.
all regurgitated
So,
jokes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Full
Yeah.
movie of references.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nostalgia.
a collection of scenes, basically getting all these actors back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't good, but yeah.
Fan
Nostalgia.
service. It was for fan service.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we wanted it, so
Here
here
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna. It's just like the new, the newer 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. It's like
Yeah.
it's the same story. Do
Yeah.
the same thing you did last time.
Yep.
And literally, that's what he did.
And then Clerks
And it
2.
did
I watched that too. That was
Yeah.
funny. Clerks 2.
Yeah, I
was
just watched
actually
Clerks
really
2 a
good.
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
It was it's underrated. There was a lot of funny stuff in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that. I don't
The
know if I had
nerdy
a
Lord of
chance.
the Rings kid.
Lord of the Rings.
We're not gonna get into that.
And on that
That's
note,
a show for another day.
That isn't. Well, we'll have that
Whole
discussion
entire- yeah.
next time
Okay, I'll be back for that one.
because I have some not so great things about Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So that'll be a
So
discussion.
you're the Randall Graves of the Lord of the Rings. You're
Well,
Bob.
see, like I said, I don't those that fantasy type stuff. I don't fully like. I like
Okay.
dragons. I like all that stuff.
so you didn't play D&D, is what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
See, I
See,
played
that's just a
D&D in the
failure as
80s.
character.
Yeah.
Like when the 80s were around, I would go to my buddy's house. We would play D&D all
Yeah.
night long.
Yeah.
See,
24-hour campaigns. Let's go.
see, when I was in high school, I played every sport demand. So I really didn't. In high school, I didn't have time. The only thing I did outside of sports was the radio station. That was
Mhm.
literally the only thing I did.
Actually, Dungeons and Dragons was the only thing I did outside of sports. Like I was all into sports, playing,
Yeah.
watching. Like I was heavily into it. And now I'm kind of like did a 180 where I'm
Yeah.
sports are kind of like I'll watch them here and there.
yeah.
As you're wearing a
And,
sports hat.
And a sports bra. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything about a sports bra, but whatever.
No, I love hockey. Hockey's great. I watch hockey anytime.
I can only watch playoff hockey. I can only watch
I
playoff.
watch hockey.
Just like playoff baseball, I can watch.
Mhm.
I can go to any game. I'll go to any game
Yeah,
and
that's
love
fun.
it.
That's an
But
experience.
watching it on TV, I can only watch playoff baseball
Mhm.
or hockey. Like hockey game. I'll go to a hockey game, have the best time
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just-
hockey's great live.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Totally different.
My old pastor is a hockey player.
It's
And
an.
literally,
I
like,
was
he'll,
not expecting
like,
it.
I watched him check a guy into the glass, and after the game, he prayed over him. It was the funniest thing.
It was very entertaining
So
for
knocking a
sure.
guy on the ground, literally.
Yeah, say a prayer.
He gets so mad. Like
He
He
does.
read his cussing,
Oh
blah,
my
blah, blah.
gosh.
He apologized to people after the game. It's so funny. It was one of the funniest things I've ever
Yeah,
seen in my life.
very
That's
entertaining.
hilarious.
Like the duality is
That
fantastic.
sounds like a movie.
Right?
Yeah.
It could
a
be.
play.
There we
Yeah.
go.
It could be.
A
Yeah.
hockey pastor who lets
The
out all
hockey
his aggression.
Just saying, if
Yeah.
y'all want to write it, I know how to skate.
Yeah, but that insurance would be
Experience.
ridiculous. 'Cause
Right.
Everyone
Oh,
would get
gosh,
hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can skate. I can skate pretty well, but
Tooth replacements in the plan.
Dental
It,
budget.
it would fit into potentially a religious market, but I don't know if it would hit
If it
the
would
notes
sell.
Yeah,
that
they
need
were
to be
wanting
hit.
to.
the holy
Yeah.
goal.
Right.
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right, you heard it here first.
The holy goal being
penalty
written.
praise box.
Jason, I'll write the first draft.
I'll write the real
I'll send it
draft.
over to you.
Yeah.
So only one draft.
And then Jason and I will ad lib the whole thing. It'd be great.
Yeah.
There you go.
And just me skating.
Freeform. Just a
Just
bunch of
circles.
clips. Yeah, just
All right, so look for The Holy Goal in theaters in 2022.
Yeah.
22? Okay. I was thinking 23 gives a little time.
yeah.
No,
We
we're
got to
gonna
do
get
it now.
We can do this in a
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
can,
We'll
we can
do
do
it,
it in a
yeah.
month. We can do it in a month.
They need content.
There you go.
Yeah, they do. That's why that's why I've been writing like nonstop,
Yeah.
like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a comedy writer, so
Okay.
I don't do. I mean, I do horror movies, but I don't write horror movies.
Okay.
I thought about it, but I think comedy is more of a niche for me. I like,
Okay.
but I'm also writing a dramedy show, so Like
Interesting.
it's,
I like those.
that's what my whole studio is going to be. It's going to be I'm building 2 sets. It's
Okay.
going to be based on a TV show that I'm writing.
Nice.
I pretty much have the entire first season planned out plot wise.
Okay.
Now I'm just
Scripting it.
Yep, scripting on episode 3 now. So
That's awesome.
just trying to.
That'll be cool as you're doing this podcast to update people on the process of, here you are at this phase, but what are you going through as you are actually filming, and then what's
Yeah.
the process afterwards. I think
Yeah.
there's some value there. I don't know how much of your audience is either movie lovers or filmmakers.
They're all over. Right now the audience primarily I had 6 different shows on my particular YouTube channel. 6 different shows that I was running weekly.
Mhm.
So basically, we had anyone from artists to video gamers. We had I have a gaming show, movie show, horror movie show. We did a podcast, and we did there was a couple other things that we were doing. So that they were all over the spectrum. But right
So
now,
eclectic.
well,
Yeah.
the channel is called Real People, Real Content. So
Okay.
basically,
That
it's
makes sense.
it's the pretty much anything that anyone feels that they have a desire to story to tell, just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I have this one painter who just teaches people how to paint and where she came from and how she likes to paint.
That's cool.
That's
And
cool.
that's right now. I think the most recent one she did painting of a hand, but basically just techniques on how to do it.
Hands suck.
Yeah.
They are hard.
Worst.
They
The
are hard.
worst.
But she's wonderful.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get back into that. I just restarted this channel probably 3 weeks ago. Like when we first got back into podcasting, all of last year I didn't do anything. But I'm just because of COVID.
Yeah.
and-
It's
Yeah.
funny because it's like totally how I work. Because Tony's like, "Hey, you still want to do a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it tomorrow."
I'm already on my way.
and I
Wanna
was
make
doing
a movie?
this.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot
Yeah.
in 10 days.
Right.
Because I was doing I do voiceovers too for
Okay.
an agency, but that's why I built this. But then I was like, hey, let's do some podcasts. I got this. Let's do this,
Yeah.
and
Why not?
I'm getting into a music label. I'm actually starting a music label as well.
Nice.
So I have a lot of things going on right now. But you know
Right.
what? Like I said in the beginning, got to get into as many things as possible, get as
Yeah.
much experience as possible, and just
That's
do
how you
anything
find
and
out what
everything.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sticks.
and that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So.
That's awesome.
I just want to thank my audience for joining us at Killer Podcast. We were joined by Blake Stone, Sith, and Jason Henney, and as well as Chris Lato. Thank you again. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we're doing another podcast.
Yeah.
See you later.
All right.
But